So I do want to move on to some more in-depth stories, and it continues this week that the top political story in Indiana is this redistricting push from the Trump administration. Um, all of Indiana's Republican Congress members this week lined up in a row behind Trump and said they're in favor of this. And Leslie, I sort of want to start with you because if we go through with this gerrymander that all of the Republican um, caucus from Indiana is on board with, it seems that your Congressman Frank Mervan is their most likely target. They may be able to gerrymander Andre Carson out of his seat if they are especially aggressive, but it seems like Mervan's the real target. How does that make you feel?
Well, I think it should be alarming to everybody. We do not want to live in a one party state. Even Governor Braun said that 88%, I don't know if 88 is true or if 88 is a dog whistle, but of local offices are held by Republicans. And that is just, it shouldn't really be like that. It should be more equal because we're not getting government for the people. We're getting government for the people who want power the most. I am actually playing my first political fundraiser. I'm going to be performing on Tuesday for Frank Mervan. He's a very popular congressman, and yeah, I don't think that they should be picking their voters. Voters should be picking their Congress people, and so it is just. I mean, and they've already been doing robocalls and lying and saying that it's Democrats when come on. I mean, we got to get the people to wake up. It's the war to make the lies true. It is the war to make the lies true. They're lying, they're lying, they're lying. And we've got to, fight back against the lies.
Indiana was
Mm,
blue in 2008. I don't know why they're thinking that they have total majority control. Indiana was blue in 2008, and then they gerrymandered the maps in 2010, and then Indiana was blue, or excuse me, red in 2012, and then they gerrymandered the maps again. And so
Yeah.
they're pot kettling here, saying, "Oh, they're manipulating the maps."
yeah, we have 9 congressional seats in Indiana. Seven of which, that's 77%, if I remember my math, are held by Republicans in a state where I believe we vote in our congressional elections something like 55-45 or 60-40. It's this state is a lot more purple and diverse than what we are painted as. And if we had some sort of fair maps, it would be like 5-4 or 6-3 at the worst. Leslie said something about making the lies true. And I want to point to a quote from uh, third congressional district representative Marlon Stutzman, who wrote Monday on X, quote, Democrats have proven they will use every tool available to them to gain and keep power. For years, Republicans have stood idly by while the left has weaponized government against us. And then Mark Messmer from the 8th also posted on X. Man, they like Jesse, these guys can't stay off Twitter. Um, Mesmer posts, I am proud to support Hoosier state legislators and our great Governor Braun in fighting the long history of weaponized voter manipulation in California, New York, and Illinois. Restricting or redistricting in Indiana will accurately reflect the will of Hoosier voices. Now, I think I debunked that very last sentence. But Jesse, what about the weaponization of government, the manipulation from California, New York, and Illinois? Do they make a point at all?
I think there's a tiny point. I mean, I think it's absolutely true that Democrats have worked to gerrymander. So, for example, in Indianapolis, I'm sitting in a seat right now. Like, there were people pushing for an independent, nonpartisan redistricting in Indianapolis, and it's Democrats who said, no way, we want to make sure to protect our favorite people's seats. Granted, I took one of those favorite people's seats, so it didn't work as well as they hoped it would. But that was wrong. We should have done an independent redistricting, and there are times when Democrats should be called out. But it's funny because I think Trump is playing a very dangerous game here, because I think he forgets that what got him actual popularity among regular working class people was things like drain the swamp, not I will become the biggest swamp monster and play by their rules. People don't want you to like roll down in the dirt. If you're saying the Democrats are scum because they do X and Y, which is why I'm going to do X and Y, you're saying you want to become scum and you're just mad that people did better at you or did better at the game than you did. So I just think that it's not actually popular among regular working class Republicans or people who voted Republican recently. I think it's going to come back and bite them and make them look like the nakedly political protect the bureaucrats scheme that it is.
I like the way that they bring up California, New York, and Illinois. Now, one, California has an independent redistricting commission. We'll come back to this on the national uh, section because this gerrymandering thing also continues to dominate the national news this week. But, New York, yeah, is gerrymandered. Illinois is comically gerrymandered. Maryland's gerrymandered. Okay, those are the only 4 Democratic states that actually do this. There are at least 11 Republican states, including Indiana, including Texas, where they're going even further. Yeah, that are far more gerrymandered than the Democratic states. Again, we can come back to this. I do want to note though here in Indiana that Governor Braun reiterated that he remains non-committal, and some of the state reps are also not super excited about this idea. Representative Ed Clare from New Albany said special sessions should be reserved for emergencies. The president's desperation to maintain a U.S. House majority by stacking the deck in favor of Republicans does not constitute an emergency. Riley, that's pretty strong language from an Indiana Republican directed at the president, eh? Ooh, you are on mute, ma'am.
Sorry, thank you. I would be more inclined to believe Republican politicians towards Trump if they actually held their ground, because we've seen over and over again that they will say one thing of, "Oh, I'm going to stand against this. This isn't what my people want," and then at the last minute they'll flip their vote against what their district is saying and telling them to do. So they can be all talk, but until I actually see action of them taking a stand against him, it's just talk.
Yeah, for sure. We will talk about gerrymandering a little more in the next segment, the national section. But